It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Timothy. He's in the building. Here we're talking about the power of social enterprise. What's going on, Tim? How are you, my friend?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here, man. Now, some folks probably want to know, what is the definition of social enterprise? And so we can all be on the same page, because it can mean different things to many different people. So can you first talk about what is the power of social enterprise? What's the definition so we all understand? And why
Absolutely.
is it so important?
Yeah. So with a social enterprise, what we're talking about is a business that's designed to help an underserved audience. For instance, when you think of a business like Tom's Shoes, their social impact is every time a pair of shoes are purchased, they donate a pair to an underserved community. There's so many businesses that are out there that do social work as part of their mission, their vision, and their focus. And so a social enterprise is a business that is about the people and about serving at a high level.
And could it also be the give back? I know like Hilton Hotels and others who are at the forefront of saying, hey, by the way, we're going to change the environment about what's going on based on making sure they only wash the sheets so many days and so forth. Does that put them into that category as long as there's a component that's a give back, or is it set up designed just as a social enterprise? Just so we can all be on the same page, because I'm thinking by definition, are we all have some component to it?
It can be that. With some businesses, they may add some environmental component to their business where they're being responsible for the environment. But it's more about the core tenets of the business. Make sure that the business is purposefully serving an underserved community or being environmentally responsible. Yes, a business can have some type of component to where they are being responsible, like a Hilton or any other business for that matter. It ultimately is about the focus and the mission, and make sure that they're doing something that is helping, not just a add-on as an added benefit.
At the risk of sound like a cynical, I'm just curious, why do businesses struggle? I mean, it seems to me that would be a core component. Why are there a number of businesses that, it's a two-part question. It might be loaded, but
Sure.
you can handle it. One is, why are some folks struggling to actually make it a part of their business model or their philosophy? And number two, why do some folks talk about it, but maybe not be implemented? I'm just curious. This is all philosophy, but I'm curious what your view of the world is.
Oh, no, that's a fair question, and it comes down to intent. When you think about a business giving to a community or being an advocate for an underserved community, sometimes that work is an afterthought. It's not something that is brought into the practice of the business. And so the difficulty of defining a business as a social enterprise then comes down to, well, is this really a function of your business, or you're just trying to do this for goodwill? Some enterprises, some businesses, when they think to do something for an underserved community, it's procedural. It's more so a nice thing to do. It's whenever you think of a business that may do something that gets into the media as being a goodwill story, that's not necessarily uh, uh, an activity of a social enterprise. That's just doing something in order to get recognition, and you don't get the classification of being a social enterprise. Intent is really the core of what makes and breaks a social enterprise. Anyone can do something nice. Anyone can do something good. But is this a part of who you are and your brand identity? Is this a part of how you have your employees acting for a community? Is this more than just a thing that you can do? If it's just a thing that you can do, it's not really being a problem solver. It's more so just putting a Band-Aid on a situation.
If we're talking, some folks don't know who you are. I know you're famous, and they're probably like, "Shay, I haven't had time to read his bio. I'm not on the website and all the wonderful things he's done." So you know the part we're at, where we get to slow down for a moment and say, "Hey, Tim, what's your backstory, by the way? And then what was that journey like? And then ultimately, what was that defining moment in your life? And you said, this is what I'm born to do, to make sure that the power of social consciousness is out there." What was that defining moment that led you to doing what you're doing now? Social enterprise.
Excellent. So, for everyone that's out there, my name is Timothy D. Craggette. I am the host of the Swick Show, which is currently on WERA 96.7 FM Arlington, but soon may be in other areas. We're currently working the particulars out for national. I also am the founder and chief education officer for NASB, the National Association for the Advancement of Small Business Innovation. We are a social enterprise where we serve the educated entrepreneur, meaning the entrepreneur that has earned a degree or has some type of specialized talent or skill that they've turned into a business, but they need help with growth. We supply access to tools, talent, and training to help them grow their business at a fraction of the cost as part of our social enterprise work. So what made me move into this world of social enterprise? Basically, I got tired of helping rich people get richer. One day, I got behind the curtain of one of the people that I was serving, and I saw things that made my skin crawl. And I knew it wasn't the people that I really wanted to serve. I wanted to serve people that were like me, people that came from nothing, people that came from various backgrounds of not having much and was trying to do the best they can with what they had. And I think the turning point for me was I went into education and I met a high school educator. And her story was just so heartbreaking that she earned her degree, should have been earning somewhere around $124,000 a year based off of her degree alone. Ended up becoming a teacher, was earning something around 60,000, 65,000. But after taxes and also paying for her own supplies for her classes, her take home pay was around 19 grand, which ended up being every 2 hours that she worked, she earned a Happy Meal, well, a Big Mac meal for every 2 hours that she worked. She could comfortably pay for that. I said that this can't be the way someone lives when they invested in themselves. And so I spent the time to help her rebuild her business and was like, these are the people that I need to serve. And so the social impact that we do revolves around those people who have invested in themselves. They went to school, they went to trade, they betted on themselves and just need some support. So that's how we landed where we are today.
And I love the part that you work with entrepreneurs, and thanks for sharing that backstory and being so transparent. You work with a number of entrepreneurs, and there are a lot of folks here that are dualpreneurs. They work full-time jobs. They're full-time entrepreneurs, by the way. They take care of their families. They take care of other responsibilities, and they're involved in the community. I'm curious, what do you see as a couple of the biggest challenges that are facing entrepreneurs with just being successful in business? It seems like it should be pretty easy, right? You go out there, you set a price, and people buy, and life goes on. So I'm curious because you provide the resources and the tools, and we're going to talk about something that you received to certify you as a social enterprise. But what's some of the biggest challenges you're seeing with entrepreneurs today to just being profitable and successful? And what's one or two pieces of advice you would offer? And ladies and gentlemen, he can handle a two-part question. So I know it's two parts, but he got it. He has it. Trust me.
I got you. So it comes down to the three factors, tools, talent, and training. When I started online, I had a great mentor and he saw me for who I was. He saw my talents, my knowledge, skills, and abilities. If you come from the government, you know how that sounds. But he saw that in me and said, you just need to know how to put that into an online world. And He took the time with me, showed me the ropes, put the tools in place, gave me the education, connected me with the talented people that helped to elevate my profile. And I was able to be successful doing 40,000 in a weekend. So that was $5,000 less than my yearly salary as a government employee. That's the missing part for many entrepreneurs that are starting a business where they're transferring their skills into an enterprise. It's knowing who you need to talk to. It's being able to structure deals. It's being able to use the tools that get you the recognition, the exposure, the sales conversions, all of those things. And of course, it's just being current on technology, being current on the top tactics and skills and strategies. The missing piece is always staying current with everything, and it's become so expensive to do. For all the conventions that I've ever been to, or anyone that I know has ever been to, just that education alone can break the bank for some people. Not to mention paying for the websites and the funnel builders and the social media ad management things. Like all of those things are essential, but not necessarily accessible. And so part of the struggle that we've noticed has not been the talent, is not like the skill set that you bring. It's all the other things of operating a business that may prevent someone from being where they truly desire to be, which is that success that they define.
I like it, man. I like it. Tell us about, I'm not going to say an award, but a recognition that your organization recently received, and the
Yes,
significance of it, and what it means to you personally. I mean, I feel like I have an exclusive here, ladies and gentlemen.
you
I'm
do. You're the
behind the
first one to
scenes.
talk about it. So we got the distinct honor. It actually happened as we're doing this from the Global People Association, the Social Enterprise World Foundation, and they recognize businesses for their achievements in social enterprise work. And we received our verification certification, which just came in, and that now recognizes us as being truly an entrepreneurial support and cooperative support social enterprise, meaning we serve entrepreneurs to provide them tools and resources for systematic growth. And we also provide access to tools and training that are shared resources amongst all of the members that use it. So in essence, we're talking the talk, and so thankful that we received that recognition, because that now opens us up to serve more people at a much higher level. So yes, you did get the exclusive, and I couldn't have thought of a better place to letting people know that. So thank you for that opportunity.
Man, congratulations, man. It's well deserved. I know where your heart is, and you have a heart to give and a heart to serve, and you're putting your time, energy, and talent right there with it. So
Thank you.
thanks for all that you do. You know, we have a segment here, by the way, that's called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks that tune in every night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what we're about to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words right now. Today is my January 1st. I know that sounds good. That sounds good. For everyone else, you join us for the very first time. Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st is our personal mantra. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is or how bright and sunny that past is, the past no longer equals the future. And so my question for Timothy on the other side is, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? What do you hear? And on the other side, where was another setback or challenge you had in your life, and how did you bounce back from that?
Ooh, today is my January 1st. So what I hear is, oh man, you guys are gonna have me tear jerking on this thing. What I hear is my grandmother, uh, Miss Annetta E. Baird, known as the Queen. Before her passing, I was down in the dumps, and I mean really bad, to the point of not knowing if I wanted to be around. And please, you can understand exactly what that means. Um, so on her bed, we sat and talked, and she expressed that there's no way that she could ever let that happen. And we made a deal with each other. The deal was, if she chose, I'm sorry, not chose, um, if she stayed to her birthday, which was November 3rd, I would stay past my birthday, which is November 4th. And so she made it to her birthday. We got to celebrate. And so I had to keep my end of the bargain. And she passed that following January. But the gift of all of that was she understood more about me and my potential than I was giving myself credit for. And my do-over at that point was a renewed sense of purpose, because now everything that I do is in her honor, for her sacrifice, for her struggle, for her making her way to the States, for her being the guiding light to having our family come from the Caribbean and making their way to the DC metro area. There's just so much of her and her spirit in me. I would do a dishonor not to uphold my end of the bargain. And so all of this that you see of what NASB is akin to her. And that was my January 1st. That was my do over, because I truly believe if she didn't intervene in the way that she could, I don't know if I would be talking with any of you at this moment. Um, I owe her the world. And that's my January 1.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for being so authentic. Grandmas are what grandmas are, man. And
Man,
you're the
grandma's
person you
awesome.
are. Yeah. Yeah. The apple don't fall too far from the tree, man. So I'm glad that you're upholding your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
One of the questions I like to ask when I have time, we do have a few minutes here, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? What's one of them? And I like to preface the audience so they understand you're not coming down the mountain with the 10 commandments over here. That's what I'm asking for. But if you had to reach out, because you had so many mentors along this journey of life, you just talked about your grandmother, you read so many books, we probably lose count how many hours we watch the video these days. If you had to reach out and say, hey, here's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given, and here's why, what would it be?
So, Mario Brown, he gave me the best advice that I've ever received in life, and I give it to my kids that I mentor. I give it to our members. I say it on my show. Take imperfect action. So the situation was 2012, 2013. After I released my first information product to the world and started to be known, I felt that pressure of trying to be perfect each and every time because I was so scared to fail. I just would put so much energy into trying to make everything I did just so that uh, I wrecked relationships. I put myself in harm's way. I made some deals that probably weren't the best deals. But in that event in North Carolina, we had met prior online and we got a chance to sit with each other. This tall 6'10" dude, ex semi-pro basketball player from Germany, sits down with me and just sees how much stress is on my face and my body language. And he says to me, "You're doing really well. Take imperfect action. It's not that serious. You need to have a version 1.0 before you can have a version 1.5." And he gave me that just so earnestly that it stuck with me from then to now. So my advice would always be, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, take imperfect action.
Well said, man. What do you do for fun these days? We're not out saving the world, creating social enterprises, man, making a difference for other folks. What do you do in your downtime, if you have any?
Oh well, I had to make sure that I do. I love really just spending time with my missus. Tunisia, she is the world to me, and anytime we get to just be in each other's presence, that's how I spend my downtime. So that means uh, going on cruises. We love to cruise. Um, Going to theme parks. I'm a big kid at heart, so I love to hop into fantasy every so often. She indulges me. But realistically, we could just sit on the couch. And that's where my free time goes. It's quality time, not quantity time. Um, and I wouldn't trade it for a thing. It's the biggest blessing that I have.
Yeah, you can't leave us hanging. We all want to know what's one of your favorite places to cruise. I mean, since you love cruising, you love traveling. Hey, is there one particular place he likes to go? Because I know they make multiple stops. We're just curious. We're all on the edge of our seat. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna leave him. Let him just let him leave you hanging out there.
I appreciate you wanting to make sure that I go deep. So yes, Half Moon Key. Um, that's one of my favorite places. That's on the Carnival line,
Yeah, I love Carnival.
and on the Royal Caribbean line, they have a private island called um, uh, it's like Fun Day at Coco Cay. I think that's what it is. That their island is Coco Cay. I like the private islands because the the environment just allows you to just relax and be in your own place and space. I love being at the beach, and both of those places gives me the opportunity to just put my toes in the water and take in the moment, look out to nothingness, and just be present. Um, I think those two places jump out for me as like the destinations. Whenever I can book something and I can see that there's a private island included in it, it's booked.
I love it, man. As we come down the home stretch, two-part question. Number one, what type of clients are your firm looking to take on now, if any? And number two, how can folks best connect with you? I mean, how can they stay in this type of conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have now?
Oh, sure. So anyone that's looking um, to just benefit from what NASB offers, they can just go to nasb.org. That's NAASBI.org. And also there's the community. That's where we continue a lot of our conversations, whether it's our mastermind conversations or from our content that we produce or the books that we publish. A lot of our community of learning happens there. And that's at www.nasb.org/start, START. Those are the best ways to learn more about who we are, what we do, and who we serve, and also to be in a community of like minded people that are all willing to share. The one tenet that we have is that all of us are achieving to be wise. And so that's wisdom, innovation, systemization, and experimentation. Everything we do is about helping and growing. So NASBI.org, NAASBI.org, and you can connect with me and everyone else as a part of that space. That's the best way to do it.
I love it. Well, let me say thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to check back in with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And thank you. Thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, there is no show, by the way. And it's kind of cool when you hit the like button, but really, we really appreciate it when you hit that share button. When you pay this message forward to someone else by. We really appreciate that. With that being said, I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that you're amazing, you're awesome, and you're a game changer, you're a world changer. You're really an incredible person. No matter what's going on in your life, that today I believe is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Jay Brown. That hasn't changed. The Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day. We out, everybody. Peace. Thanks a lot, man. Talk to y'all. Bye-bye.